There was 90,000 yards of gray clay that was dug out to put the South Mall there.
So it was one day they were unloading the truck and I bringing the steel up and the cable's starting to break. So I kept right on going with it and get the piece way up on top and landed it. If I had waited and stopped, that cable would have broke, would have killed a bunch of guys.
One day it was up in a tower crane, okay? And we were unloading reinforcing rods on the ground. So the guy on the ground with the telephone was talking to me. He said, "We got a thunder and lightning storm coming. It should be here in about 5 minutes." I looked over in the distance, I could see that black cloud coming, because we were about 100 and some feet up in the air. All of a sudden the storm hit, and we were hooked onto the bundle of reinforcing rods, and the storm hit, and that tower was going like this, and we couldn't get out because of the wind and the rain, and we stood up there till it passed by.
The workmanship was excellent, and the people were excellent. Everybody got along with each other. There was harmony there, and that's what counts. And there's a picture they took when they finished the egg on top of the roof.
There was people there from all over the world. I mean, there was a lot of French Canadians, there was a lot of people from Italy, Ireland. A lot of the dock builders were from Scandinavia, from Norway, Sweden.
I was happy to work down there because everything was different,
Yeah.
A big project, big things, And then you see all those tall buildings, you're coming in from Rensselaer, you look down, you're coming into the 21st century.
Everyone that visits Albany and sees these humongous buildings, all made out of masonry, reminds them of the old days when the architects and engineers would build out of masonry.
And there's a high level of pride within their work, within the masons. And for example, I would say every job that these guys worked on, they were proud looking back at it. But when you go back and look at a job completed, for example, like the Empire State Plaza or whatever, you're going back and you're looking at the buildings, you see the guys that you worked with. Remember, so-and-so worked on this corner, and somebody worked over here. This is where we made a mistake over here, but nobody knows it but us.
Graduated on a Sunday, 1967. I went to work Monday on the motor vehicle building on permit.
Trains were coming every day, and they had gangs and cranes at the yard, the North Albany yard and West Albany yard, and all they did is unload steel. It's a pretty amazing thing to work on, especially when you're, I was 17 years old when I started, and then I was probably in my early 20s, and it was still, I was amazed at the way the whole operation, how things went and how it worked. I really enjoyed it, I really did.
I'm drilling holes through the concrete decking up there on the plaza level, and the dedication ceremony with Governor Rockefeller is taking place, 100 yards away, 100 yards away from me.
Every time I look at it, it's such a beautiful part of our skyline here. It's like that egg is like, and all of it, with all that marble, truly beautiful, truly proud to have spent time down there. It was an awesome part of my life.
I was 19 years old, so I, looking for work, you go to the Union Hall, and I was sent over here to the South Mall. It was known by the workers then, and well known that it is one of the biggest construction sites, if not the biggest, in the country. The stairs, the grand stairs. I was part of the forming crew of back then there's so much concrete going on, you had to have the forms being built to keep the concrete in place, so you're a form carpenter. And then all of a sudden you started seeing the wooden forming of the egg come up, and everybody knew as that's the egg or the flying saucer, but you don't really picture it until you see their wooden forms come up. My God, they're building a flying saucer out of concrete, basically, that's amazing, The Plaza is Albany. It's, in my lifetime, anyways. That's what it's famous for.
I started there in 1968 at the Legislative Office Building. And from there, I worked in every building, but also with these three gentlemen here.
There's a lot of stuff going on, It's not always just going to work and,
bending over and banging nails all day. There's a lot of interaction with other trades. There's a lot of there's a lot of gambling. There's a lot of this and that and the other thing. There's a lot of things that happened that it made it a lot of fun.
You did your part. Next thing you know, you might do something else in between. The next crew would come and do their part, and then that crew waited till the next pour came. They went through something else, got lost, and went back, and it just went step after step.
And when it was snowed out, it rained, snow, sleet, it still worked.
And I did something stupid. I got up on the top and I took a bad fall. Ended up falling down on the concrete floor about 15, 18 feet. And they hauled me off to it took me off into Albany Med for all day long, taking x-rays and whatever, but I didn't bust anything, just bruised some stuff. But that was a routine day too.
Architecture of the Empire State Plaza, the South Mall as we know it, has been everywhere from applauded to ridiculed, as we all know. But when you sit back on those steps and you take in that view in the Capitol, and you knew you were part of that, it's kind of overwhelming actually. And when you look at that Capitol all the way down there, and that was built Union in the 1890s, it really comes home to you.